daily business lessons every single day without the filler. I'm your host, your coach, your teacher, Omar Zenhom. I'm also the co-founder of the $100 MBA, a complete business training and community online over at 100mba.net. If you're just getting started, make sure you check out our free full video course on idea validation. Make sure you nail your business idea, product, tagline, website, whatever it is. You can check that out again at 100mba.net. In today's lesson, you will learn, can you pause your business? Can you just stop doing business for a certain period of time? Basically, close your doors and then come back to it later. Is this possible? Is this bad for business? Are there any examples of anybody doing this? And would this hurt your reputation or your brand? Whatever your reasons for pausing your business, whether you have some other things going on in your life that you need to just pause the business for a bit, or you want to completely shut off for a period of time and not do anything in your business and don't want to outsource anything to anybody else, we're going to go through the details if this is possible, how to do it, and what are the advantages and some disadvantages. So let's get into it, guys. Let's get down to business. Today's episode of the $100 MBA Show is sponsored by SumoMe. We've been using SumoMe for the past 2 years, and we absolutely love it because it's the best tool for collecting email addresses, growing your email list, building traffic to your website. I was just looking at our stats earlier. In the last 3 months, SumoMe alone, just the app on the website, has collected over 3,000 emails for the $100 MBA. Best of all, you can get it for free and have it free forever. Just go to our special link, 100mba.net/SumoMe. That's 100mba.net/SumoMe. So let me explain what I mean by pausing your business. I mean ceasing all activity. You're not selling anything. Everything is kind of closed for business. You're not sending any emails out to your subscribers. No communication. You're not doing any active marketing. You're not on social media. Basically, you're going dark for a period of time. Now, people might wonder, is this even possible? Is it good for your business? Is it good for your actual customers and audience members if they don't hear from you for, let's say, a month or two? Is it out of sight, out of mind? Will you lose touch? Will you lose connection with your audience? It's a good question. This is usually a concern for those who are solopreneurs, who are working alone, or maybe working at a small team of 2 or 3 people, and you just want to take a break from it all, and no one else is going to do the work. And the break, again, could be for several reasons. It doesn't have to be just a vacation. It could just be you have to deal with certain things, other aspects of your life. So my first piece of advice when it comes to this topic is making sure you set the right expectations. If your audience knows, if your customers know that you will be taking a break in the near future, let's say, for example, you give them a month's notice. Let's say you email them and say, hey guys, from December 1st to January 15th, I'm going to be off. I won't be selling any of my products. I will not be answering any emails, and you won't be getting any emails from my newsletter. This is my period of time where I take off. What you're doing here is you're communicating to make sure you set up expectations so people understand what's going on. So if they do want to buy something from you, or they do want to email you, ask a question, they can do it before that date. So expectations are critical, and you can't over-communicate these things. You can make it a little note below your signature on emails so people know that this is coming. I mean, you can start months in advance. You can even write a blog post explaining why you are doing this. Why are you setting up this practice? Now, if you're wondering if there's anybody that actually does this, well, yeah, I actually know a good entrepreneur that does this. His name is Paul Jarvis. He's an author and product creator. He's a designer by trade. But he closes his doors at some point in the year and really doesn't work. He just takes time off to do things he wants to do. And he makes this very public to his audience. If you're wondering how he does this, just sign up for his newsletter. I'm sure he will talk about it at some point. But again, he communicates this really well, and that's why it works for him. Now, I don't know what Paul's setup is, but if you have products that require ongoing customer support, whether it's a piece of software or you have to engage in a community with Facebook, and it's just you who does this, then you need to find somebody to do it for you, because people will be buying this product with the expectation of having that support. I do believe in taking these kind of breaks if you like, but it can't be at the cost of your business and the service that you offer your customers. Yes, it's your business. Yes, it's your life. But you also made an agreement with a customer when they bought a product that you would give them something in exchange for their hard-earned dollar. And you got to fulfill your end of the bargain. Now, this is entirely possible, yes. But you have to understand people that do this, like Paul Jarvis, they've built a really strong, intimate audience. His audience really love his stuff. He takes a lot of time in cultivating really good emails that are catered to his audience, and they'll wait 2 months until they'll get their next email. If you're not there yet, then I don't recommend that you actually do this, because by taking time off and going dark completely for a couple months or even just a month, you could start to lose subscribers, start to lose your audience members because, hey, they actually need you on a regular basis. And if you're not providing something that they need, they're going to forget about you. Out of sight, out of mind. This is definitely true in the online space. This is also especially true if you don't have such in-demand product or service that people will wait for you. If you're in a competitive space, people will just go to your competitors. So if you do want to take a break, there's nothing wrong with that. But you can find help, outsource help to take care of things like customer service, like maybe your newsletter. I mean, you could pre-write your newsletter and have it scheduled with your email marketing software. So you're weeks in advance. You don't really have to worry about, I have to write the newsletter the week of it gets released. You can do that all ahead of time. If you have a podcast or a video show or a blog, you can batch and get ahead. If I didn't batch this show, I would never have any time off. It's daily. So I have to get ahead. So keep that in mind. There are other ways to do this without going completely dark. You can still supply great information to your audience and still actually serve them with one, outsourcing, and two, doing things ahead of time and batching. I also don't recommend doing this the first year of your business. You need the time to build that audience, build that rapport, and also you need time to work on your craft. Going completely dark for a couple months is really just not a smart idea, especially when you're still cultivating your business. This is just my personal opinion. You're laying the groundwork right now and you want to make sure it's solid. Again, this doesn't mean you can't take time off. I'm talking about what the customer, what the audience experiences. If they experience continuity in your content and your communication because you planned ahead and you batched, that's great. That's all I'm saying, really. But if they don't hear from you for a long period of time, you might be losing all the traction that you worked so hard to gain in that first year. Guys, I got more on today's topic, but before that, let me give love to today's sponsor, Acuity Scheduling. Keeping a organized schedule is one of the best things you could do as an entrepreneur. That means you're utilizing your time wisely and you're not wasting your time. And one of the best tools I found when it comes to scheduling is Acuity Scheduling. How do I know this? I've tried them all, and this one is the best. What makes Acuity Scheduling special is that it allows other people to book you for your time easily. So if you're in the service industry, like you're a business coach, consultant, a hairdresser, a massage therapist, you can just simply give them your Acuity Scheduling link and they can book themselves on your calendar with ease. Talk about making it easy for your customers to pay you, or at least have access to you. That's really what you need to have. But don't take my word for it. I want you to try it out for free. Acuity is generous enough to give every listener of the $100 MBA show a 45-day free trial. Just go to acuityscheduling.com/MBA and you can get your free 45-day trial with no credit card required. Again, that's Acuity, ACUITY, scheduling.com/MBA. Now, there's one situation that I didn't discuss when it comes to pausing your business. Some people pause their business not because they're taking a break or they're dealing with something else and the business is thriving. It's because it's not thriving. It's because it's not doing well. And they just need a break from it because they realize, I need to think about this. Maybe I need to pump the brakes and just pause things for a moment to see how I can turn this around or let it go. Having that time to make that decision is important. But I really, really believe in having dedicated time to think about things. Because often what we do is say, okay, I'm going to pause my business. I'll think about it for a couple of weeks and see how I feel after a couple of weeks. And what happens is that you just go on with life as usual and you don't really dedicate the time to really think about it. You just kind of ignore it. And what I say to that is if you're going to pause your business for this reason, you need to dedicate time to do that. If that means, hey, I'm going to schedule some time next week from this time to this time to, sit down at a cafe, brainstorm with a pen and paper of, a pros and cons list of why I should keep this business or not, what's going wrong, what can I do to change it, turn it around, do I still want to do this, maybe talk to a friend about it. You need to actually schedule time to think about it. Because if you just let it go and say, I will think about it, you're often just going to ignore it because it's not something that feels great. But if you want to actually solve the problem, you're going to need to dedicate the time to discuss and figure out how to solve it. I just want to make sure I included that in today's episode because that could be your situation. And I've been there before. And sometimes you procrastinate. You don't really get to that point where you say, okay, I got to really brainstorm, write down what's possible, what's not, should I keep going or not? And the sooner you can do that, the better, because again, you might have running costs in this business. You're also wasting time. You could be working on something else that's beneficial, or you could be working on turning your business around. Guys, I hope that helps. I hope this episode was useful. If you loved it, let us know in an iTunes rating and review. Just click on the cover art if you're on your iPhone. You'll see a link that says give us a rating and review. If you're on your computer, just go to 100mba.net/show. All right, guys, that wraps up today's episode. But before I go, I want to leave you with this. Breaks, as I mentioned many times on this podcast, are important. You got to schedule in breaks, whether those are vacations where you go away or a long weekend or a day to yourself to just, recuperate. That's something that's standard. You have to have that in your schedule as an entrepreneur. Today's episode was extended breaks from doing business. It's not for everybody. In fact, it's probably not for most. But if it works out for you and your audience, then make sure you communicate and you are transparent and you set up expectations as much as you can. All right, guys, I hope that helps, and I hope to see you in tomorrow's episode. Free Art Friday. I'll see you then, guys. Take care.